To the Glenn Beck program. First of all, let's start with here. My family's thoughts and prayers are with Congressman Gabrielle Gifford and her family, but also her staff, the others who were wounded on Saturday, the families of the 6 dead. With special note to Christina Taylor Green. She was 9 years old. She was born 9 years ago, 2001, on 9/11. This family was welcoming in their arms, while we were all panicked in terror. They were welcoming a new baby girl into the world on a day of unspeakable terror. She lost her life in unspeakable terror at the hands of a madman. What can we learn from that? I monitored the news all weekend, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. I waited for anyone to step up and lead. Someone to say something of common sense, something that wasn't political, something that would call us together, something that would call us to be our better self. Someone, in the end, just to stand up and say, "Stop it! Knock it off!" I'm still waiting. People are suffering. I don't know if the people in the media or in Washington understand that this is real. It's real life. This is our country. But I guess our country, our republic, people's lives, everything could just be used and turn into a game of political opportunity. It's a disgrace. You deserve better, and the republic deserves better. So I decided to go back to a statement that I started the show last week with. I am sick and tired of waiting for a leader. So, at least this hour, I'll do it. I'll do it. And you need to do the same. Lead. Much to the chagrin of most of the people in the media, I'm not playing defense tonight. Oh no. No, this is offense. I'm going to issue a challenge. Brian Williams, Katie Couric, Sarah Palin, President Obama, Nancy Pelosi, and Speaker Boehner. It's time to make a choice. I know how many of them will stand, but I'm going to issue a challenge. It is time to stand up for the Republic. Stand for peace. Stand for principles. Or you can just keep adding to the problem by playing the game. Let's see who steps up. The game? Stop it. Knock it off. It begins next. Well, this is, these are the players, apparently, in the game. Some of them are players and others are being played. I guess one at the top there is just being used. Hello, America. I was in New York City on my anniversary with my wife. I was actually at Spider-Man halfway through. I can't wait to tell you about that, maybe tomorrow. About halfway through, and my security detail said, "I'm sorry, sir, but I'm told you need to see this." And all it said was, "Congresswoman shot in the head, several dead." Quite honestly, my first reaction, I looked at my security guy and I said, "Send somebody immediately. Protect the kids." My second reaction was the human reaction of praying for everyone involved and worried about their safety, praying for our country. However, my professional reaction was about 20 minutes later, as my wife was still sitting next to me and I was trying to pretend that I was still really watching the show. And I'm just thinking about everything that was happening. and it went into intermission, and I text messaged my staff. I contacted my staff and I said, no statement whatsoever, no speculation on any of the platforms, nothing. Wait for the facts. It's common sense. I didn't need to tell them that. They all knew that. But the rest of the media didn't seem to understand that. It's weird because you'd think they would have learned that from the Shirley Sherrod incident. Don't jump to conclusions because you make terrible, terrible mistakes. But some people, it seems, will never learn. Since we didn't Shirley Sherrod in the first place, I wasn't going to make that mistake the first time, but they made it again. This network was one of the only places that didn't engage in wild speculation. But I guess common sense doesn't matter when you're just trying to create a storyline to fit an agenda. Tonight, I want to separate the garbage, because that's what it is. It's trash. I want to separate the garbage from the facts, because if this network doesn't do it and this show doesn't do it, who will? I showed you last week how progressives will go about implementing their agenda. It comes, all you have to do is listen to people like Van Jones and especially Francis Fox Piven. But this is an old, really, this came from congressional testimony and papers that were released and smuggled out of behind from the Iron Curtain. This is really has happened before. This is how they've transformed governments before into communism. What happens is a group of people have a solution. And then they make sure that they have people in power in government at the top. Then they create a problem or exploit problems that will go to their solution. Overwhelm and collapse the system, get people to rise up, and then when the people rise up and there's chaos in the streets, the top comes down. Remember, those are the people that they have in power in the government with their predetermined solution. This isn't wild speculation. This isn't, this is fact. We've laid this case out over and over again, and not some conspiracy theory. I've shown you the documents. I've shown you the history of it. I've shown you how it is all playing out again. Now, the solution in this particular case is to silence or discredit the opposition. They've been trying to do it for years. Talk radio. It has been a bane of their existence forever. The right, you got to shut them down. Tea parties, oh, conservatives. Sarah Palin. How do you control Sarah Palin? You don't. You just shut her down. But how do you do it? Well, they have to create a problem or exploit a problem. So are they creating one or exploiting this one? For instance, you want to shut everybody down. All you do is you say they're dangerous. It's hate speech, you know. Nothing but violent rhetoric. They've been using this storyline for a very, very long time. It's almost laughable at this point. They've been wrong so many times. They're desperately using every opportunity to try to convince you that somehow or another Sarah Palin is dangerous. Somehow or another Rush Limbaugh is dangerous, that I am. Anything to shut her down, shut me up, shut talk radio down, shut Fox News off. Then everything will be sunshine and lollipops. And they can come in with their predetermined solution. Silence the opposition. And they can do it with the fairness doctrine, or maybe Al Sharpton's next call for regulation of racist rhetoric on talk radio, because it's gone, what was his quote? Way beyond hate speech or free speech. Okay. We saw the strategy before. You've seen it for almost 2 years now. It's the Tea Parties. Look how dangerous this woman is. She's about to sing. If she sings, she's dangerous. Oh, that one is. She's very dangerous. The problem with this is the media script doesn't match reality. They're so isolated on this stupid little island called Manhattan that they just think that you're so stupid that you'll believe this. 8/28, there were no violent acts. There were no arrests. There wasn't a stick of garbage left on the mall. Yet, these people are consistently called dangerous, based in zero facts. They did the same thing with a census worker in Kentucky. Do you remember this guy? Everyone rushed to blame the right. Many actually blamed me, said I killed him. Yeah, no facts. They got it wrong. If I'm not mistaken, it was suicide. They did it again with the guy who flew the plane into the IRS building. Had to be the right. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. They got it wrong again. They did it with the Florida school board shooter. Remember this guy? Blame the right. It's people like Glenn Beck that get this guy all wound up. No. He was from the left. They got it wrong again. May I ask the media a question? Is there such a thing as an editor anymore? Is there anybody? Do you have a boss? Is there anybody there, or do you just write stuff or say stuff and it just comes out? Is there anybody holding anyone responsible? Because I know this. If I got this many things wrong, I would have been fired long ago. If I were the editor and allowed this speculation to be on the air, they would have fired me then, too. And they say the internet is irresponsible.